My name is Frank Rivera. I'm from Sarcoidosis of Long Island, and I also have another organization called Stronger Than Sarcoidosis. What we do is there's a national organization for sarcoidosis, but what I do is I fill gaps of where they can't, the things that they can't do, whether it's money reasons they can't do it, or just they don't have enough people. So I try to fill the gaps. Being a patient myself of sarcoidosis, I really kind of understand what patients need. So when I find a need, and if they can't fill it, I'll make sure I try to fill it. Sarcoidosis of Long Island I started 13 years ago. Matter of fact, last week was my 13th anniversary. I started it because 13 years ago, when I found out I had this disease, I was looking for help. And there, like I said, there is a national organization, but that national organization at that time only had like 3 employees, and none of them had sarcoidosis. So me calling them and asking them for help was basically, it was really tough. They could tell me the same thing that Dr. Google could tell me, you know? So I didn't want anybody, like I said, I was misdiagnosed, so I didn't want anybody else to have to deal with the same thing that I dealt with. Unfortunately, in 2004, I was living in Florida, and I got misdiagnosed with lung cancer. And I went through 4 years of chemo and radiation. After the biopsy, they misread the biopsy. And so I didn't want anybody to ever have to go through, chemo and radiation brought me down to 95 pounds, and for something I never even had. So I didn't want anybody else to have to go through that. So I originally started it to be that middle person for the patients, and I still do that. The patients call me, and I'll find them doctors. I'll find them help. I also try to help them mental health-wise. I've been working with an online therapy company, and they're giving a percentage off of their co-payments now to help them with mental health, because I always say mental health and physical health equals total health. So we do that as well. And the other, one of the big things, we started out, like I said, doing that, but then I started doing advocacy, becoming an advocate, because I found out, I went to Rare Disease Week, and I found out that we were not getting 1 penny from the government. And I was like, are you kidding me? It's actually pretty funny, because Emil Kakis was the one who actually told me that. He was in charge of Every Life Foundation at the time. And he was the one who said, you know, you're not getting 1 penny. Matter of fact, you're the very first person to show up to Rare Disease Week. And so that started me becoming an advocate. And now, you know, we're starting to get money from the government. It took us a while, but we're at least getting something. So it's a good start. The really easiest way to describe my rare disease is my white blood cells get overactive, and instead of fighting off colds and diseases or anything like that, they go there and they clump up together and form masses or granulomas in the body, anywhere in the body, including any organ and including the skin as well. So how to manage it is really tough, because unfortunately I was misdiagnosed for 7 years, and by the time I got diagnosed, I already had it in 75% of my body. It's been very hard. I've gone through ups and downs, unfortunately mental health-wise as well. So all I can really say is that it's day by day. And it's really like I set small goals. I don't want to set a goal that I can't achieve. So I set small goals. Yes, I have some long term, but for the most part, I celebrate those small goals. Research-wise, there's actually a couple of clinical trials that are going on right now that really have seemed to that look very promising. We've had clinical trial problems because of participation at times, but the past couple of years our clinical trials have gotten more interest from different pharmaceutical companies and biomarkers and stuff like that, biotechs. I did a panel yesterday that was about collaboration and competition. Do we consider other organizations that are in the same, like the same disease oriented? Are they, do you collaborate, or do you look at them as competition? I personally like to collaborate. I'm not one to point fingers saying you're doing this wrong, you're doing this wrong. I am a, all right, what are we going to do about it type of person. So I look to collaborate. And I also know that each organization has their strengths and weaknesses, and if we work together, it'll bring a better outcome. So that was our discussion. And then today I spoke about mental health and how, like I said, mental health plus physical health brings total health care. I always like to tell people that together we are strong, alone we are rare, and I always just say you are not alone.